Hi guys, it's Ernest from Proximal Consciousness. How you guys doing today? Got a great subject matter for you. Teenagers, right? Teenagers is a very interesting age to be at for humans. When people have made it through the preteen years, and they've been introduced to various people, their parents, their siblings, their friends, their classmates, and so on and so on. Daycare centers, or classmates, that is. They're now reaching an age where they're actually making choices about those things, right? They're making choices about their parents, whether they like their parents or not. They're making choices about their siblings, their brothers and sisters, whether they like them or not, whether they like socializing with them or not, whether they like being with them or hearing them or taking instructions or directions from them. They're occasionally thinking about what they want to do with their lives. They may be looking at their parents and making choices about what their parents are doing and saying whether or not they want to do that. Or they may be looking at TV or the movies or other people's parents and their other friends and their friends making choices about those people and their situations and their lives. Very important time, right? It's a time where of self-discovery. It's a time when people are either liking or disliking, are either moving close to certain things or moving further away from certain things. Very interesting time, very critical time in the lives of young people because they're really at an age where no can almost really mean no, right? Whether they eat their vegetables or not, whether they want to eat what's on their plates, whether they want to go somewhere or not go, right? They're starting to make decisions about school, whether they like this particular subject or that particular subject, whether they want to be good at this particular subject or that particular subject. And there's very little that a parent can do at that point. So it's important to get those formidable preteen years right so that you can minimize the effort that it takes to point your children, your siblings, your whatever, your friends in the right directions as teenagers, right? They've built an association with food. They now know what they like and what they don't like. They now know whether they care about the quantity of food. Now they don't know whether they should limit the quantity of food because as teenagers you generally want to eat as much as you can of what you like. And you generally want to avoid as much as you can the stuff that you don't like, even if it's good for you. Right? That's just the way it is. So you have these teenagers. And these teenagers are now beginning to form their own personalities, their own character. I mean, you have personality and characters when you're young and your preteen years, but as teenagers, you can see strong developments in character and personality and will and direction. Now, some teenagers are going to be headed in the right direction. And you say, what is the right direction? Well, morally speaking, character speaking, personality speaking, the ability to build friendships, to maintain friendships, to respect the law, to be encouraging and positive and happy and outgoing, capable for the most part of proceeding onward into their adult years, their young adult years, and accomplishing great things. And then you're going to find that there are some teenagers that reach that point and they're not going to be as healthy as they should be. Their associations that they have formed, their likes and dislikes, have put them on a course to trouble. May not care about school. They may not care about what they eat. They may not care about their families and friends and siblings. They may not even care about themselves. They may show clear signs of withdrawing from society already, right? They may be showing clear signs of hatred and dislike and sadness, lack of motivation, lack of respect, lack of appreciation. They may be getting involved in fighting and arguing. They may even be, let's say, overeating or even avoiding food altogether. It's a very impressionable time. But all is not lost on those particular people or those people who decided to do things the right way, I should say. It's a time for reinforcing. It's a time for reevaluation. It's a time to focus on the positive, on the most beneficial aspects of aging in this world, right? If you're an older person looking at a teenager and, of course, understanding how this teenager has been formed, you can take it upon yourself to help that teenager to make some adjustments. You can shine the light on their situation, whether it's on their eating situation, whether it's on their friendship situation, whether it's on their schooling situation, whether it's dealing with their home life, with their siblings or the parents, whatever it may be, right? If they're moving too fast, you can encourage them to slow down a bit. If they're moving too slow in their development, you can encourage them to speed up. You maybe show them a thing or two, point them in a direction or two, encourage them to be more open, to be more talkative, to be more expressive, to be more concerned, or to be less so in some ways. It's a very impressionable time. And those teenagers who are fortunate of themselves and fortunate for the people that they have around them in their associations or their attractions may be able to make heartfelt adjustments that may better prepare them for the next stage of life. Right? Now, of course, there's always going to be those people that no matter what associations they have developed, no matter who they just don't want to do anything for themselves. They don't want to hear anything. They don't want to be involved in anything that might benefit them in the future. Right? Now, those are heartfelt cases. I mean, we all probably know people who have turned away from the things that they should be focused on, things that might be most beneficial to them in the future. That's not to say their lives won't turn out great. It's a possibility. I mean, they may be a success in some aspects of the future that overshadows all the other areas that they may be stumbling forward in or standing still in or falling backwards in. It's possible. All things are possible, right? But in general, they show signs of things to be concerned with. They concern their parents. They concern their siblings. They concern their friends and those people around them. They might even concern themselves to some degree, if they're objective enough. Right? So you got these two developing aspects of that growth stage. Those that are on track and those that are off track. Right? And those that are on track should be encouraged, should be motivated, should be a positive influence, and should further gravitate to those things that help them to be confident, help them to be a success, right? And those people those teenagers that need help or less directive, if they are receptive, can be encouraged and straightened out to some extent. And if they're not receptive, well, sometimes you have to leave them to their own recognizance. I mean, there are extreme cases when there are some teenagers who are just a danger to themselves and everybody around them, and therefore their parents, their guardians have to seek special help for them. from people, trained professionals who will delve into their psychology, delve into their personality and their character and their strengths and their weaknesses and their fears and whatnot and their concerns, and will help to find where they are and help to repair that area of their lives, to refocus them, to repurpose it, to redirect them, right? I mean, those types of situations have existed for a very long time in some aspects of society, and therefore there are people who are well trained to assist those kinds of people, whether they want to be helped or not. Sometimes just exposing a person, forcing a person to deal with some aspect of their lives can sometimes be enough to get them on the straight and narrow, right? So, beyond all the negatives, when you're dealing with an aspect of teenagers that are a success, you find people that are teenagers that are focused on the future. They're focused on their survival on this planet, and they are gaining control of their lives. They're recognizing the need to gain control. They're recognizing their power in this world. Their power to make decisions, their power to accomplish whatever they want to in this world and beyond. And that's a good thing. That's a great thing. Right? I mean, when a person has reached the teenage years and they are solid in every aspect, school, friends, family, everything. Their thirst and longing for the future. They can pretty much sit down with you and lay out their lives before you in vivid detail with total confidence that they will accomplish those things. And not blindly. They'll even tell you, well, if this doesn't happen, I'll do this or that. Right? That's a good thing. That's a healthy thing to see emanating from a teenager. Right? That makes parents very happy. That makes authorities very happy. That makes teachers very happy. That makes siblings, older siblings, and younger siblings, because their teenagers are now that type of person that's going to influence, that's going to encourage, that's going to pull along those preteens. Preteens will gravitate to that. We'll see characteristics and associations, and will begin to attempt to mirror those in their own lives, and that sort of helps them come along. Right? There are even older people who may see things in teenagers that awaken them to things that they didn't consider as teenagers, and may give them an opportunity to reevaluate the consequences of their lives, the decisions that they made as teenagers. So teenagers are very important, to the younger people as well as the older. So, but like I said, reaching teenagers is just the outgrowth of that pre-teenage angst, exposure. Plenty of opportunities to show that one's mastered it. Plenty of opportunities to show people that you haven't mastered it. But always an opportunity to make necessary changes and to prepare for the next stage of growth. Right? So that's the thought that I had this morning. I mean, we should be aware of every stage of development, right? Especially the teenage years. Right? So I hope you guys are liking my videos. I hope you're liking my channel. I hope you're subscribing to my channel. And I look forward to continuing on with these discussions with you guys. So have fun today, you guys. And pay a little attention to our teenagers and make sure that they're on track. Okay? Talk to you again. Bye now.